fuck it, we'll do it live.
Yeah, fuck it, we'll do it live. So what I was saying was, you know, to install the barrel, you have to put some pressure. It's
hang on. Nobody knows what you're talking about.
Well, okay, we're talking about the MRA Renegade, and it's not that it's a big problem of mine right now, because Ryan from Maple Ridge actually stepped up and sent me a new receiver. So I can't bitch
it was
too
a
hard.
manufacturing mistake. It wasn't.
Well, yeah, and the main problem was so when you install a barrel on an AR, there's a little pin on the underside of the barrel that aligns it in a corresponding hole on the upper receiver, and you basically tap that in and it stays essentially tight. Like, it's still a little loose, and that's what the barrel nut is. You got to torque the barrel nut on.
But it's self-indexing. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, and whereas this Maple Ridge Renegade, you put a torque rod and a vise. You put the upper into the torque rod into the locking lugs essentially, and then put the barrel on. You press the barrel on and then torque the barrel nut on like you would normally, right? And in theory, in practice, it makes sense unless you have a few thou of anodizing right on the fucking threads. And so a buddy of mine and me were working on it, and we had an 8-inch crescent wrench for this barrel nut, and we tried multiple barrel nuts, Armalite, Arrow, and then Wish, essentially. And
Wish.
But they all had the same threads. Like, they all spun on an actual upper, like an AR upper. And then we go to put it on the Maple Ridge Renegade, and there was anodizing on it. So we're torquing on this thing with an 8-inch crescent and I'm 300 pounds, and I'm putting my whole weight into this cocksucker. I'm essentially cutting the anodizing off the threads
on an aluminum threading too.
Yeah,
right?
Well, but then also we weren't putting pressure down the barrel to keep it locked, and so if that pin comes out 1/8 of an inch or whatever, let's say a little bit, you're actually torquing directly on that aluminum thread piece that's very thin, and it fucked up that whole cutout for the thing. And so, yeah, it was a tough go, and Maple Ridge, to their credit, stepped up. I sent pictures, bought it through Red Deer Shooting Center. Maple Ridge stepped up, and they sent a new receiver set, and I haven't had a chance to fix it yet, but or to build it.
Well, you know, I'll tell you what. You tell them that Chris. So here's the thing. Okay. I don't know if anybody from Maple Ridge is listening. Maybe you are. Maybe you're not. But listen up, fuckers. Starting in January of the year of our Lord 2020, I started building.
I think you gave up on this year. You might want to put someone else on.
The year of he who shall not be named. I started buying and building a Stag 10. So years and years of stupid martial arts training have fucked my wrists. I complain about them all the time. And for that reason, I like pistol type grips, because I can keep my wrist more in a neutral position when I'm shooting, and I don't have to cock my hand like this when I'm shooting, right? So I've had a Magpul Hunter stock on a Remington 700. That's what I've been using for hunting, and it's a lot better. But ARs are just easier. Like the ergonomics, I appreciate them. People with bad wrists, I think, will all probably appreciate them. So I wanted to build a Stag for my hunting gun. Started that in January, and I ended up going with a Stag receiver. But I put I put a whole bunch of small MRA parts on it, and I put a MRA handguard on it, and an MRA brake on it, and like a bunch of MRA parts on it. And the reason that I'm saying that is because I have never legally shot that Stag 10.
Yeah,
because the bolt carrier group never arrived until the second week of May. So I
think that's pretty common.
I have never shot that gun in my life, RCMP. So I'm waiting for our MRA to bring out the 308 version of the Renegade.
Yeah.
Because I could still hunt with that. Like, okay, it's not semi-automatic, but you know, it's better than kicking the dick with a frozen muckluck. So I'll take it. I'll try it. And so I'm waiting. So MRA, hey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm your guy. I'm your guy. I'm your boy, Blue.
And not to shit on what you said, Chris, but there's so much development that goes into a caliber, upsize, like from 223, 556 to 308, that the engineering has to be completely different. And I found out that
Go ahead. And then
the aluminum they use is 6061, so it's pretty soft. If they bump that to a 7075 and then scaled everything up just a cunt hair. Yes, I say this the C word on a Friday night. Don't judge. But if you bump everything up,
I start my mornings with that.
You stir your coffee with it, or what?
First thing, I just wake up, eyes open, cunt. I start my day.
It's like Groundhog Day,
right? Here again.
Here's what I'm wondering. First of all, I'm wondering if they'll use 7075 aluminum on the 308 version.
Probably not.
Probably not. I'm not holding my breath, but you never know. But second of all, did you see they put a picture of it up on Facebook?
There's got to be prototypes.
Did you see the frickin' cutouts where the upper and lower marry on that thing?
No.
I'm just looking for it here. You can share a screen, right? Because a lot of people, like they just posted this 6 hours ago. A lot of people might not have seen it.
All right, pull that shit up, Jamie. Hey,
okay, I don't know.
Here, I got it right here. I'll share my screen. Oh no, I can't.
Yeah, you don't. You're not part of the...
I can. Hold on. Share screen. Let's share this bitch right here. Okay, and you got to put it up. Okay, so right there.
Huh.
Look at what they did here with like that. I don't know what that is. Is that just a third part that fits in? Because it doesn't really look like it's part of the upper or the lower.
No, it definitely is. It's all like
part of the lower.
Yeah, it's two pieces of aluminum milled out, and they just designed it to look pretty cool. But then you got
Oh, hang on, that's just recessed. I thought that was completely. God, no. Friggin' frag.
That's why we talk about this shit, right?
Yeah, I thought that was completely cut through there. That's just recessed. Never mind. I'm embarrassed now. I'm gonna stop shit.
I love it. It's live. It's on the internet forever.
Yeah.
I take it back.
Oh, wait till I start saying some things.
Well,
anyway, it looks good though, doesn't it? Like,
definitely.
Oh wait, that's a Renegade too. Man,
yeah.
I'm all kinds of drunk.
Not really though, are you?
Forget it. What was the post that... here, okay, how about this then? You know what? When they bring out the 308 version of their Renegade, I'm the guy who will misinterpret it for them.
There you go.
You should work. You should work for the RCMP.
That's right.
Whatever I decide right now.
Shouldn't.
Yeah. And how about this? I'm going to throw this out there right now. However honest I am in the review depends on how much I pay for the receiver.
Ooh.
I can be bought. I'm just all these
everybody has a price, right?
Yeah, all these YouTubers out there are like, well, I do not pay for reviews, and I give honest reviews no matter what. Bullshit.
I already have influencers. Hey, Sean.
Yeah,
that's right. Yeah,
I'll be the only guy.
We're not going to go there tonight.
I'll be the only guy out there who will be honest, straight up, and tell you, hey, if you want to buy me, I'm for sale.
That's right. Especially when you run a martial arts gym in a province that's locked them down.
He comes cheap, folks.
Yeah,
that's right.
I accept cash. And
do you accept bits of string, good sir?
I'm getting pretty goddamn close.
There you go.
That pipe is getting to you.
I think so.
No way. It's well, of course you can't not talk like a highfalutin individual without a tobacco pipe. So we got some thanks, guys, for joining us. This is just kind of an off the record, not off the record. It's definitely on record.
Oh shit! Are you sure?
Yeah. What is this off the cuff podcast? We're all hanging out here and not locked down yet in Saskatchewan and Alberta, but close enough. And we're all having some drinks and just bullshitting. So there's not any structure, guys. So if you have any questions, if you have reloading questions or Maple Seed questions, or Ryan from Gothic's here too. ask away, guys. We're here to help. So we got we had Matt Hipwell here join us. Thanks, Matt. Appreciate it. Have a good night, guys. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that was a drive-by, hey?
Yeah, no kidding. Well, if I ran a business like
nothing going on here.
Yeah. You know,
He logged in and heard me bitching and complaining. He's just gone.
Yeah.
Steve's here. Steve Emblin's here.
Yeah. Luke and Jens and Dougie, what's up, guys?
This seems like a usual suspect sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's showing 18 viewers. We have 3 friends out there, and the rest are just accounts made up by me.
That's okay. Here's a question from the man, Steve Emblin. Why do gingers steal souls?
I have theories, but I want to hear Ryan's.
Yeah.
For no reason whatsoever. I'm not insinuating anything. I just want to hear from Ryan.
I'm trying to think of something clever, but all I can think of is something mean to say back.
Yeah.
And
wouldn't you do it if you could?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I'm drawing a blank at what I should say. I haven't drank enough to like just say something spicy off the cuff because again, he's a nice guy. So I'm like, just give it a little bit, and I'll start cursing out everybody.
That's right. No, Steve, salt of the earth.
That was definitely one way to dodge that question.
Thank you. Off to Parliament.
I'd vote for you.
So Sean, you got that garage all set up there, pal?
Yeah, well, pretty much. I was just setting up here. I'll see if I can show you guys. I was just setting up and it looks green. I don't know why all the blue looks green, but it does. But that's Dylan. That's my Dylan 550. I was just setting up for doing some 9mm tonight, and just got the bullet seat depth perfect. First fucking or second try. I got the
first try. First try.
It
was first try. Absolutely first try.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good segue for opening a can of worms. I'm going to start with the hate. People can start typing it away at me. Fuck reloading for a semi-auto. I refuse. I don't care if 9mm is $10 a round. I am not reloading that shit. I fire the fuck out of it, and then it's gone, and I buy more of it. So same with 5.56. Not a chance. If any of my guns are semi-auto or fuse, absolutely refuse to reload for them.
Okay,
even
why?
when I had.
Let's unpack that. Why?
Okay. Usually the cases get fucked up. You got dents. Your case life just gets fucked from the chamber tolerances, right? And I don't have the care. It's really the give a fuck that I'm gonna like make sure all the brass is perfect. And so if I'm firing like a madman and a round detonates in my chamber, I'm not going to make it my fault. I'm going to make it the manufacturer's fault. So absolutely not. I don't.
Well, funny you say that. So I've blown up my Smith & Wesson M&P, other side M&P here. I blew that up in 2014 after reloading on that exact press election night. In 2014 by not indexing properly and double charging it around. And so I see what you're saying. That cost me. Well, I ended up selling the gun for parts, so it only really ended up costing me about $400. But it was an M&P Pro, so I'm $400 down the drain because of it. But when I bought that, now in my defense, when I bought that press, I bought it used from a guy on Gun Nuts local. He threw in a ton of components, so. And I still have them, so we'll leave it at that.
I can't be. A lot of the guns I fire, like even if it's a Milsurp or it's a modern gun, you got rim damage. I mean, you got dents. You got all sorts of areas that can go wrong the next time you try and fire that round or chamber that round. And I just can't be bothered. And my time is also like as a dad and a student, a business owner, and all these things. I don't have the time to even like, if I'm like, oh man, I need like hours to press out like 300 single stage 308 rounds, right? And then I make those.
Who's reloading for a semi-auto on a single stage though? I think that's the problem there.
Well, there is that. It's not that I couldn't get.
Curt.
I like how Rob's chirping about the Dylan, but like it's not that I couldn't get a Dylan. It's that I would rather spend that money on ammo or guns or training or any number of things. Then be like, well, I'll just crank out 1,000 9mm rounds right now. It's like, still 9mm is what, like $250 for 1,000? I'll do that instead.
right now anyway.
Well,
But
for Barnell,
true.
right?
But again, then what's all the guys with their fancy Dillons who can only buy a pound of powder every 6 months because there's a shortage of that or primers.
What was it, Norinco primers we agreed was everyone was going to be using?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. No, I buy it cheap, stack it deep, and it's like I'll buy new ones to train with. I won't dip into the stash.
When I'm reloading for pistol, I am buying black sheep brass, okay, because it's cheap, it's already processed, you don't got to fuck around, and it just load and go. Really, you still have to inspect, but there are cases that I can just shoot and not worry about the range gremlins stealing them, right? So
yeah,
but same goes for 223. I can do the same thing with Brian at Black Sheep Brass, and it's cheap like borscht, and considering I have a ton of components, it makes sense for me, but for you, it might not make sense for you, and that's the beauty of it. Anyone can do what they want, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. So no, I figured out, like I said, I was opening that can of worms and let people start bitching or. Well,
nobody bitches around here, do they?
Yeah, right. That's going to be my job tonight. That's why I have been brought on.
And Rob Mick says here, 5.56 isn't worth reloading, but for practice ammo, I don't mind burning up Dillon for practice, but not for a comp. So, and that's essentially it. But unless you're competing 3-gun, but when you're shooting, when you might be shooting, 10 rounds at 300 max, you're not reloading for precision, you're reloading for production. Yeah. And that's kind of what I'm getting at. Luke Godin has a question. What equipment?
There's some history there.
Yes, exactly. What equipment on the cheap would one need to start reloading 9 and possibly be able to reload 308 and 3030? Go single stage. Yep. You can get a cheap lead kit from Amazon. Yeah, why not?
9? Why don't you just start with like the Lee progressive?
Yeah, you can do that, but he also wants to upgrade and do 308 and 3030.
So you can do that with a progressive.
For sure, but I don't, that's just what I would say. If you're looking for a one-trick pony, a lead progressive is the way to go, plus dies and components and et cetera, right? So,
but you can even get your lead progressive with 9mm die setup, and then you have to get dies for your 308 and your 3030 after the fact, right?
Yeah, but then you got to get a different primer run if you're running the Lee Pro 1000, I think, or I don't know.
You need
Curt, what does John have? He's got a couple Lee Pros, doesn't he? Or
yeah, what the heck model is that? I can't.
Yeah, Rob, I did.
What's that?
Sorry, Rob said, didn't I fold the handle over on my Lee press? Yeah, I did that once. But again, when you buy a Lee 4-hole turret press for like $100, and this is going to go back to finance stuff, and if you're going to like depreciate that over how many rounds you make, like it takes no time to write that off. So, I folded the friggin' handle over and I bought a new one for $10, right? Like I mostly just buy factory at this point, but that's going to actually go into another one. At the end of this, I think every company is going to be like, I just don't want to deal with this guy because he's just bitching. But but I'm going to preface everything. I'm going to preface everything with how much I love the product. So Area 419, I think they have an amazing lineup. The zero press is fucking unnecessary. You know what I mean?
100%. It's fucking cool as shit, but it's so unnecessary.
Totally, dude. You got to think about for that price. And again, it's still it's still a single stage, right? As far as I know. Because I don't have one. Or does it rotate? Is it one of those like semi-progressive?
It's got the top turret essentially rotates.
So you still have to manually,
but you have to manually index it. Yeah.
Either way, when you're spending like $2,000 on this press that has like really tight tolerances, it's like what 0.01 of an MOA of a group are you trying to squeeze out of this ammo? Right? You're going beyond the capabilities of probably anybody shooting. And you're paying $2,000 for it, dude. If you want to spend the money, do it. I think it's super cool. But again, for $2,000, I'd rather buy a new gun. I'd rather buy a whole bunch of ammo. I'd rather go on a trip. I'd rather do
$1,200.
Really, I think that makes me a better shooter. Other than learning how to.
Yeah.
Oh, robotic there.
It sounded great though. Saying I said cheap progressive is expensive if not mistaken. Well, that's why we said the Lee, because the Lee Pro 4000 is starting at like $350.
But look how fucking cool this thing is, though.
It's super cool, man.
It looks badass. You can move the handle left or right. You can set it up any way you want.
Yeah.
It's even numbered for the retards out there.
But if it has a bidet attached to it, then it's worth $1,200 US.
You could probably fill one up.
It's a space shuttle, but you got to think about again, what's the problem down the line, right? Okay, your press is really good, but are you buying like $400 custom dies? Are you buying like? There's always going to be that that problem that is negating all the cool stuff, right? So it's like you have to then like chase your tail on making sure that everything in that line, from the way you prep your brass to the way everything has to be perfect. Even your powder, make sure the humidity in it is this certain way, or else what's the point of buying a $2,000 super crazy press?
You haven't had your hug yet today, have you, buddy?
Oh, I've had 0 hugs today.
Oh,
0.
That's God damn it! I'm gonna take up a collection for you.
I have just been doing a lot of bitching this week. That's why I said, I'm like, hey, I'll get drunk and come on and just bitch about stuff, and the people tell me I'm wrong, and
it's Ginger Howl night.
Here, Mike Heineck sums it up perfectly. It's a Ferrari in a demolition derby.
Yeah.
100%. And then you need the Prometheus powder dispenser to go with it, and then the what's that super F-class scale that guys are using? And, oh, unreal.
Here's a question: why has nobody made a shotgun called the Prometheus?
I don't know.
Doesn't that seem like an appropriate name for a shotgun?
Well, you are the history or the Greek myth lover of the show. Why don't you explain why that would be a cool?
Well, he's the motherfucker that took fire from the gods and gave it to the dudes.
That's right.
The dudes.
Yeah, you got the wrong guy. I'm the dude, man. It'll be a good name for a shotgun.
I appreciate how dumbed down that was. That was like the Walmart version of Greek history.
That's right. Yeah, but I mean, you shoot like dragon's breath out of it. I know we can't do that here because we don't have freedom in this country. But call it the Prometheus. Like, why not? Who's man enough to make that shotgun?
I would start writing letters if I were you.
I'll just take a knife and scratch it on the side of one of mine.
We have Phil Odell coming on in the future from Odell Engineering, who brings in the
I really like Phil.
Phil's a great guy.
Yeah, Mike is in the same boat as me here. Get on Odell. They'll name a shotgun for that.
Yeah,
it'll have fancy spikes and rails where you don't need them and shit like that.
I've only ever emailed with the dude, but I'd really like to speak with him. You got to bring him on the show now.
Yeah, he's outstanding.
And he needs to make a Canuck Prometheus is what he needs to do. Or rather, he needs to make the Turks make a Canuck Prometheus.
He has to import from Ankara.
Which is fine, man. I've got a Canuck like a first gen regulator Defender. Those things are great for. I think I bought it on sale when it first was coming onto the market for. There's like $229 at one of my local shops. Like it's fantastic. That's the shotgun that I put in my
what local shop?
Camper. North Pro Sports, man.
Yeah.
You know what they should do is they should just port the entire barrel. So it's just like
this
giant fireball. It burns you. It burns everyone around you.
Perfect for bear defense.
Exactly. Well, here's another option. Jens says Steve at EMP can laser whatever name you want on your shotgun. So
that's true. That is true.
Shameless plug right there.
You know what? Okay, I'm in that case. I take all of it back. Phil Odell, you can't name your shotgun the Prometheus because I'm trademarking it right now.
There you go.
That's right.
Do it.
He just bought the domain GoDaddy.com, right?
Yeah, PrometheusShotgun.com. That's my domain now. I don't give a shit if anyone else buys it out from underneath me. It's mine. I will fight you.
With tomorrow, wrists.
Tomorrow we'll go to your social media and you got like OnlyFans/Prometheus. Like, oh,
fantastic! Oh, that reminds me of something hilarious. Did you guys see the meme floating around about the core temperature body warmer for hunters?
No, put it up on the share screen.
Do it.
All right.
I gotta try and
pour another.
You guys talk amongst yourselves.
Why? Don't tell me what to do.
It's not a type suppository, is it?
Oh, it's a camel butt plug. Here, I got it here. It's coming up just a minute. Oh, I must be 18 to view this community. Well, that sucks. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to save it. Oh, man, the dildos on my screen right now are just maddening.
I don't.
Good thing your wife left the room.
Yeah, she'd understand. She gets it. Okay, here we go. I'm going to... technology. Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
Okay, there you go. Put it up. There's your core temperature body
God's
heater.
name.
That's a butt plug.
I know it's a butt plug.
Sean smoking a cigarette. Is it a butt plug?
On the side of it.
So to each their own. You know what? Ryan would buy that if it was in Roadie brushstroke camo.
Absolutely. I would buy anything.
You know what the giveaway is that this is a butt plug? On the right-hand side of it right here, it says prostate stimulation and anal muscle training.
What have we divulged to? Get that shit off my screen. Jesus.
Such decay.
Look at this. I'm trying to fit in with the rest of you Flatlanders.
Oh.
Miles from Call Sign would be proud. We'll leave it at that.
I got it for free.
That's right. Curt, what have you been up to?
Not a heck of a lot. Working at home, trying to get some stuff organized. Well, yeah, I haven't been working hard, that's for sure. I finally got out to I went out to the farm to help Dad with a little bit of stuff, plus slipped over to the range at the same time, and I managed to shoot your gun, Sean's, as well as that old 700 Varmint Special 308. So things are looking promising for both of them.
Yeah.
Why
don't we break that down? So let's start with my 6'5" strutting man bun.
While you break that down, you got to bring up Steve's comment.
And this is where
yeah, exactly.
This is where my butt plugs on camel butt plugs on.
You're talking about making the Friday night once a month a regular thing. You may not be able to sponsor these episodes, but
yeah, fuck it. Independent.
Gothic line will do it. I got you.
I'll see that EMT win, Ryan.
Accounts payable. Don't worry
That's
about
right.
it.
Yeah,
Ryan's bitch session and Chris's toys expose.
That's what I'm going to name this episode when I put it on the podcast network.
It's just Chris showing the butt plug. Me like
yeah.
It wouldn't fit.
It wouldn't fit. Sounds to me like someone's not trying hard enough. But it's
Right.
And find a load-bearing
demonstration period.
Well, I know this is supposed to be a gun podcast. I don't know what the hell happened. Hunting is related to shooting, right? I mean, it's a hunter's body core temperature warmer. Like this seems very legit to me. I don't know why everyone's making so much fun of it.
Should we move along?
Yeah, please.
We've moved along about 5 minutes ago.
Hey man, they came to join us. We didn't
that's kind
kick in their door.
Well, some of them we did, but
all right.
I wonder, does a Gothic line build get a fellow out to 2 miles reliably for $600?
For $600?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. I'll just say no.
Damn it. The magazine.
No. You know what's right.
And the paint.
Cerakote and all the look cool. You got to have a bag rider, and those are pricey.
True.
So all those things, but like a $600 gun scope combo to get someone out to 2 miles. Now the reliably part is going to be up to the shooter. So
define reliably,
right? And even at 2 miles, you see, I saw the best meme like 6 months ago, and I've never been able to find it again. Where it was like, it was like 10 old white men shoot at broadside a barn for afternoon, one hits it, and that's like new record for 4 mile shot. I loved it. It was the funniest thing I'd ever read, because it's so true, right? These guys just take like, well, I'll take another cider. But meanwhile, it's like 20 rounds later, they hit the giant RV at 3 miles, right? Yes, accuracy,
first shot.
Accuracy by volume, right?
Hey, victory through attrition. It's all
right. That's right.
I need to ask Sean Marganet a question. Sorry, I'm changing. I'm sorry.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sean Marganet said, we got a dire wolf, but the RCMP is probably going to make it prohibit. Does he mean a timber wolf?
No, the dire wolf, semi-auto 338.
I didn't know. Is that PGW still?
Yeah.
Shit, I didn't know they made a semi-auto 338.
Dude, that's gonna. So does that guy work? Hold on. Who said that?
Sean.
I'm one of the biggest PGW fanboys on the planet. I unashamed, if that's
They're
even
great
a word.
rifles, man.
Dude, I've had my Coyote since 2012.
Yeah.
I was in love with them when I saw them in Gagetown back in like 07 at the Sniper Det. I wasn't in the Sniper Det. I was literally in their canteen. I was talking with guys, but right. That's right. It was ladies' night. It was no big deal.
Yeah, I'll be your server.
But man, like, I thought the Timberwolf was the coolest friggin' thing. That was the first time I'd seen that political fluting. I was like,
well, that's only because it is.
It is. It is the super coolest thing. So as soon as I could, I had one of the TNW MG34s with a Lafayette mount, I had so much German wickedness that I sold to a guy to buy this Coyote, and I've loved it ever since. So again, unashamedly, I will be like, send me stickers, send me anything PGW. I will hawk your stuff everywhere because I love PGW. Anyways, that direwolf I saw, Stacy had it at the IBI booth at SHOT last year. It was pretty friggin' sweet. Of course, you're just sitting there kind of playing with it on the tripod. You don't really get a feel for it. Mm-hmm. But I honestly think PGW rifles from the factory, and this is going to be one of my other rants that I was going to get into, from the factory are, in my unhumble opinion, the finest sniper platforms on the planet. I fucking love them.
Yeah.
Like, they are everything. The chassis system, like, I bought mine originally with Macmillan A5 and I loved it. And I was really hesitant to go to a chassis system. I picked one off of Gun Nuts for cheap, and that's where the Rody brushstroke came from. Love it. And I think the whole system is the Coyote, so I got into this thing a bit on social media about how guys taking their Coyotes and putting them in other chassis. I'm like, you really can't call it a Coyote then, right? Because it's a PGW Coyote, the whole system, including the chassis. And it's like taking a Ferrari motor out, putting it into a different sports car and going, it's a Ferrari. Well, it's not, because Ferrari also designed the pedals. And there's so much more to it.
That is a Pontiac Fiero with a body kit.
Yeah. Dude, I see, and that's the
dress
thing.
On a pig.
The certain the manufacturer, because they're talking about dropping again. I love what Martin's doing. I think MDT is outstanding. Mm-hmm. But when they're talking about dropping Coyotes into MDT chassis and calling it Coyote, I'm like, it's not a Coyote anymore. It's a Coyote, it's a Coyote build. Or when they spin off the barrel and put like a 6mm bench rest on it. I'm like, again, like it was a Coyote, PGW Coyote when it was in 308. You know what I mean? This is one of those things where I'll get all the hate, but man, I'm a purist. Like any of my Milser, it all had to be matching. I couldn't have no Bubba shit in my safe, man. But anyways, that's my rant on PGW. I love PGW. Sponsor me somehow. I'll take a sticker a month.
It'll take a lot.
knocking on all the doors of my neighborhood at 6 a.m. Have you heard about the gospel of PGW? Like, dude, I'm there.
Children standing there shivering.
Hey, I do agree with Rick. Maple Seed should raffle off a dire wolf next year, assuming that raffle means mail to Chris directly.
Right.
Well, speaking of Rick, I just asked him to come and hang out with us, so he's coming. He said, "Let me get my hat." He says,
"No, not that guy."
So many screens at the
Fuck
end
you,
of
Chris. It's my show. I'll do it. Anyway,
Rick.
cool. So
I should have
Curt,
kept the German stuff.
back to my my gun. How did it perform?
It did okay. It liked pretty much everything that I fed it, except for a couple of charges. But all I did with those Senars was seed them 5 thou off the lands and went. And it's, I don't know, I think it did pretty good. There's now each corner. That's not
you missed.
That's
the middle.
not one group.
You missed the middle.
I shoot at corners, damn it.
That's right.
And then
You can hang that
over
one.
there.
That's like right in this top center. You can
Look
hang
at that one.
Yeah, really. But that one there, what is that?
I can't see.
41.4, I guess.
41.6.
That's so close to my 308 load for my.
We look at different things.
Cool.
So
What components are you using?
H4350 with 139 Senars in Lapua small rifle primer cases.
Small rifle guy.
Yeah.
Well, I was dumb and I bought small rifle because
Yes, Luke, 15 yards, you bugger.
So again, reading this, I'm going to just hit some points side by side. So yes, MDT makes the chassis for PGW. The point is that it's a PGW design. The actual design is like, that's a Coyote chassis, right? It has nothing to do with the manufacturer. It's the look and what it's supposed to be in. And yes, TAPCO on an SKS is sacrilege. Yes, my PGW is retarded accurate. When I was shooting with Frank at Accuracy First a month ago, maybe now.
Frank Taylor, shout out.
He is such a beauty. Anyways, he got down behind it and he came off it. He's like, dude, that rifle shoots. I'm like, oh yeah. Like, and nothing's been done to it. Like, I did put the Trigger Tech 2-stage in it, 2-stage guy, and you know, that's more of an interface thing, because I mean, I don't think it gained any accuracy by that, because again, it's shooter interface thing. But like, dude, that rifle is just, God, I love it. I just want to go get it and hug it.
Do it.
We're not stopping you. It's Friday, man. Go for it.
It'll be like private pile.
CCL 450s, CCI
450s. Yeah, you're using Federals. I'm pretty sure those 450s will probably tighten things up a little bit.
Interesting.
Anyway, hey, who's this?
What is
just
that?
enough room,
guys? You got some sputs on the screen there.
Whoa, there.
Speak of the devil, and he shall appear. Right?
Rick, how you doing, man?
Good, buddy. How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing all right.
Hey, Ryan. I don't think we've met before. Nice to meet you.
COVID, so yeah, right. No. Curt has done it much differently on my screen. So
yes.
He's done it all over your screen. Is that what you said?
Yeah, that's why the schmutz came up so quick.
I'm here to help.
Hey, Rooster, how's it going, buddy?
Not bad. You?
Good, man. Good.
Good. Looking spiffy in those XRO apparel there.
Yeah, Ben treats me right.
He's a hell of a dude.
I live in Ben's hometown, and I don't get that kind of treatment.
It's because you're an asshole, Rooster.
I know. Touche. And he can't tell whether I'm smiling or frowning either. So it may have something to do with
it. We were just chatting about PGW and its awesomeness.
Awesome sponsor. We're going to the 3rd year with them next year. So
you're sponsored by them.
Yeah,
so I don't know. I don't really.
Yeah. So Project
just
Maple
met.
Seed
So I don't know. Oh, Maple Seed.
Maple Seed, they are our national title sponsor as PGW.
That's rad.
So they don't donate rifles for us. Part of our annual raffle we do in the spring, and also they donate rifles for our known distance Maple Seed that we're going to be starting up in the next year or two. So we've got some of their M15 actions.
Nice. Yeah, we had Ross on talking about the M15 and the more specifically using it in a hunting platform. So yeah, that was a great show. So
I'd like to get my hands on one of them. There's a few floating around now, but I haven't seen any of them up close at all. Seen plenty of the coyotes and a couple of timber wolves, but yeah.
Summer.
Say again.
I'll bring one out next summer when we go to your place.
Yeah, you betcha.
Yeah.
I took my PGW, the Coyote, down to a shoot in Texas in 2013, and guys were falling over themselves to take a look at it, man. And that was again with the Macmillan, like the original stock. Dude, they're so freaking cool. Like I'm refusing to buy any other 338 other than a Timberwolf. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna have to sell a kidney or something at this point. But like, I want one so bad. They're just
you got another one.
Just buy a patch for our raffle next year.
There you go.
I did. I bought it this year and I didn't win. So you fix that.
Careful, Rick. He's bitchy tonight.
Yes. It'll be muted. I'm just like,
throwing shit across the room.
He's just raging.
The angry man bun. Yeah.
That's right.
Angry man.
Too funny.
Man.
So what's new with Rick? I see you were on Slamfire the other night having a big announcement there, hey?
It's been a crazy week. We just wrapped up our 2020 season a couple of weekends ago, and the day after we're already starting 2021, talking to sponsors, doing summaries. It was a great year, and we just keep growing and growing. I think we had total events this year was close to 300 events, including Outlaw.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So. And we're going to be almost doubling that next year with a few other series. Oh, we announced the X22. We're going to talk about this next week, right?
Yeah, we'll talk about it next week. We'll go from there.
So, it's been a good year. And then
imagine if it was a normal year.
I know.
Like,
I'd be divorced or dead or both.
Maybe. Man. You got to go sometime.
I guess. I didn't expect it with a pillow over my head as I slept.
There's worse ways.
There are definitely
there are. Yeah. So it's been a great year, and it just keeps getting bigger and bigger. And what was big this year was a lot of guys stepped up to be match directors, and the beautiful part was you got so many more different match styles. So guys like Ron Sharp and Chris Tischler and John Gingrich stepped up, and it's great to see the different flavors. You think it's a match, but really it's what they love to shoot.
It's their flair, yeah.
Their flair, exactly. So yeah, some of those guys are assholes.
That's the beauty about the style of CRPS too, is that you do rely heavily on match directors for stage design, but that's what makes it unique and challenging, right? And that's the beauty of it, is making it challenging and bettering yourself as a shooter, right? So
yeah, that's it. Or just turning money into noise, as I do.
I had spent way too much on building a custom rifle to do Maple Seed, and I've still haven't been able to shoot a single round out of it or been at a single match. So I guess actually I've killed a couple gophers with it, but again, haven't zeroed in.
The guys that did the fancy Maple Seed rifle builds now can shoot it at the new X22 series.
Yep.
Next year, which is all about hot rod semi-autos. So, Mr.
King, it's got to be semi.
You're going to Edmonton. You know what, Rick?
So go ahead.
I'm thinking about if you do an X22 in Edmonton, it might be the very first gun competition I've ever entered in my life.
Right. Well, there's one at Sherwood Park on. Can't remember the date. We announced the dates today.
Okay, sorry, I got to interrupt everybody. Zach Schweinenschwagel says, Rick, reach out to me as I would like to see if there's an opportunity to help you guys out next year with Maple Seed. So,
do you mean Schwingenschlogel?
Swing and swiggle. Yeah.
Swinging what?
Absolutely.
Swing and what?
He's immediately going to take that comment off after you
Exactly,
butcher his last
right?
name.
Exactly right.
Say it as angrily as you can,
slaughtered
and
it.
that'll make
Yeah.
it sound more German.
It does.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
the language of love.
I was just going to say the first Vocal Plane podcast, bringing people together since 2019 or whenever we started.
and butchering names since 2020.
Yeah. How to win friends and influence people.
That's right.
You guys do those Tony Robbins kind of chat,
No, you've come to the wrong place for a Tony Robbins chat.
We are not cheerleaders.
And
Shwinging Homa is acceptable, he says. Jens, we need some help here, Jens.
More anger, Rooster.
So, what else is bugging you, Ryan?
Oh God, what else did I complain about?
You're talking about 308. Let's go on about 308.
Okay, go on to that hate train. I planted my flag and I will die on the 308 hill. I refuse to go to 6.5 Creed. And if I shoot every PRS match with my 308 and I beat at least one 6.5, it's the price of admission. Like, I love 6.5. Or sorry, God, no. I love
that was
308.
a Freudian slip. If
That was. I can't stand. I always harp on training over trying to shore up a deficit in your training by just buying better kit. Yeah. You're never going to get any better if you don't learn how to read wind, especially long range shooting. It's all about wind. So the 308 is a tried and true. It is a military caliber. It's been, fielded in all over the world. And it's like, if you think you have to shoot a 6.5 to get out to 1,000, and you have to be cranked at your 25 or 42 power scope to get there, like you're missing the whole training picture. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but then you can't brag to your buddies and that you hit 1,000 yards on your third shot.
Yeah, you can with a 308 in training. So what? And then you can reach out further, and then you can grab their rifle, and you're nailing even more things because you're a better shot than they are. Because if you give them, you put a 45-70 in their hands, and you're like, okay, make a shot at 500 now, and here's your drop. You got to figure out the wind. Right. They're so used to having that Gucci round do the training for them that they'll be all over the place, right? I love 308, man. It's cheap to get still. Match ammo isn't hard to find either, which is, again, as a Black Hills dealer, it is the best. It's the original military round. I love sticking to the 7.62 NATO stuff because, again, I want, going back to a PGW rant, I want to shoot a PGW Coyote. I don't want to shoot a build based on the action. So that's basically where my 308 rant comes from. I mean, I've made the longest hit I've made with my 308 is just over 1,400 meters, and it wasn't hard. And that's just the thing; it wasn't hard. I mean, yeah, there was some miss. Yeah, it was not a barn; it was an IPSC target, full size IPSC, and I think out of the 3, it was a while ago. Maybe it was 2 out of the 3. Like, it's not that difficult, right? Now, I know guys who, swear they shoot out to 2 with it, and I don't doubt it's possible either, right? Mm-hmm. Wind, having the right dope, especially because you're obviously going to go transonic to subsonic pretty quick. It depends on what your muzzle velocity is. But I don't know, man. I just love the classic 308. I don't want to. It's kind of, again, I'm going to piss everyone off now. IPSC race guns. Like, just shoot a stock fucking gun. You know what I mean? Like, go and shoot a stock gun and see how good you are, right?
You know what? You're talking about practicality, a lot of humility over accolades. Like, there's more people looking for, that instant gratification and the less work and all that kind of stuff.
Buying
Right?
yourself into
That's right.
a level, right?
Yeah,
And I am all about the guy who shows up with, dad's old 303, learning to shoot and break his way up. You know what I mean? Because those guys will shoot the lights out of anybody because they've done the work.
Yeah.
And especially if you put a race gun in their hand and then they're lighting it.
Can we take a moment just to recap? So, okay, we've pissed off 6.5 distance guys.
Yep.
We've pissed off IPSC handgun guys.
100%.
Okay, just so we're aware, we still have to piss off PCC shooters.
I don't even know what that is. So fucking.
Not even fucking worth knowing.
That's done.
Tick, exactly.
Next.
That was so efficient, Ryan. I like you.
Well, don't say that yet, Rick. He hasn't pissed off 22 long rifle shooters yet.
Dude, I love 22 LR. Who
If
hasn't
he loves
learned on that?
308, he's gonna love 22.
Yeah.
It's not
I
even
do,
solid
man.
out of the barrel.
I love it. I don't know. I told you I was going to come on and just start chirping. And again, a lot of it's in good fun. Same with the stuff I was talking about the MDT chassis. I love MDT. I don't think an ACC should be on a Coyote. That's me. And you guys, everyone can argue with me, and they can, and maybe they're right. Maybe I'm wrong, but this was Friday night bitch session. So
that's why.
Hey, Sean, weren't we talking last week again about you get that question all the time, what caliber should I go with for long distance? And I always tell everybody, if you want to get hits right away or fairly quickly or whatever, sure, go with a Creedmoor or whatever the fuck, 260 Ackley. But if you want to learn how to shoot, buy a 308 and shoot the piss out of it.
Yeah, we were talking about that when Ken was on.
Yeah, that's right too. Yeah. It comes up so frequently, honestly. And you know what? Last year I went through that thing. I'd been through a 260 Ackley, got into a 6.5 by 47. I got my 6.5 Rooster. I like the 6.5s. I always have.
Dude, I think the bullet's fantastic. The 6.5 is like same as 7mm. Like 7mm, the guys doing the 7mm 300.
Oh yeah. Or
the 7mm PRC they're calling or whatever. It's a wicked bullet. Don't get me wrong.
I burnt my 260 Ackley out last year mid-season, kind of unexpectedly to me, and then I had to go back to a 308. And the stupid part is shooting with Miles and the guys with call sign 66. They came out to my range for a couple of courses last year, and all I had was my 308. I still made the furthest fucking hit I've ever made with that 308.
Yep.
Because I was forced to.
308's legit. I was shooting with some of my cool guy buddies, and he was shooting a 6.5 service gun. I was shooting my Coyote. What's that?
So it wasn't these guys, clearly.
No, God, no.
Okay,
I can afford
you're on a 30-second timeout. You fuck
6.5.
And we had put a full size IPSC out at 800, and we were going for headshots, and we were both making the headshots. And he's like, "What's your mils?" I'm like, "I'm 5 mils left." He's like, "I'm 2." Guess what? We're both making the hits. So really, if we're both reading the wind for our cartridge, the whole you got to shoot 6.5 to get somewhere. It's like, no, you don't. Just know, have reliable dope, learn to read wind for your cartridge. Actually first wind formula, which is like a version of the British wind formula, learn it, figure it out. Mm-hmm. That's the fun of it.
Yeah, for sure. And try and remember it every goddamn time you need to.
That's why you got a Kestrel, man. Kestrel or the Magpul dope
here's
book.
the purist with the goddamn Kestrel.
I'm not a caveman. Like, it's not like I haul out my tablet and chisel it out. Like,
he's probably running
the I'm gonna use technology where it's makes
where it
sense.
Suits you. I see.
Oh, now you sound like my wife. Oh, you're bringing up these things when it's yes, I am.
What's that behind you over your shoulder, Ryan, in the corner?
Which one? Which thing?
Your right, unless the screen is flipped, in the corner of the room. You only have one corner of the room on the screen there. Yeah. Tell us about those suckers.
That's an original German Pack 40 anti-tank round canister with where they used to put these little things like around the warhead. Now, obviously, Patronin 7.5 centimeters sort of thing.
Mhm.
And I got an artillery round, just one of the 105s I snagged off the artillery guys during an X.
Mhm.
And
Did they know you snagged it?
nope.
We do now.
One of the older Carl G rounds. This one's inert.
Mhm.
And then,
I'm assuming that's what the blue tip means.
well, just it's been shot, right? Like there's this
Oh, yeah.
weird plastic that goes on the end of it, and that's kind of part of the back blast. It like shoots out like a shotgun. So it's fully inert. And then one of the older Leopard tank, like older Sabo rounds.
Oh yeah.
So 105. So that's what that crap is. I got stuff friggin' everywhere. And the kids are always grabbing it and
Is that a potato masher in the glass over your other shoulder?
two of them. I got a. This one is an M24 with the fragmentation sleeve.
See, Curt thought I was just making fun of whatever it was, but I was right.
Nope, no, that's a
I
legit
know
one.
you're talking about.
Yeah.
And then later on, the Germans kind of simplified it. Instead of having the cord like run through the bottom and having to unscrew it, they just put it all in the warhead. So this was called the M43. So this was kind of a later one that came out. Then you can, of course, screw them off, kind of make them into trip wire or like booby traps and stuff like that. So, yeah.
So arguably, which one was more effective?
They're both the same. I believe they both had the same amount of TNT inside of them. Just with the frag sleeves on these ones, just caused more of a obviously a fragmentation effect versus a lot of it was concussive effect with the German hand grenades. But I mean, you can throw them friggin' forever, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like club action. So yes, that's some of the.
They're a little more ideal to throw than a pineapple American, right?
Yeah.
You can probably
100%.
get a little more accurate with the club action, like you said. So
I think it depends again on training. I had read that they went to the baseball style because Americans were used to throwing baseballs. Again, the British had the Mills bomb, and they weren't really into baseball, so I don't know how accurate that is, but it is kind of that cultural thing. I mean, they've been using that style.
Germans were used
for
to
a
throwing
while.
sticks.
That's right. The clubbing Romans with sticks for centuries.
That's right. Yeah. As they went back and forth across the steppes.
The steps. Speaking of throwing things with handles, any of you guys been axe throwing recently?
No,
not recently.
You have gone axe throwing though?
Yeah.
Did it make you
It was
determined
more of
to
a
build
family event. Like we do that at reunions and stuff. Yeah, but lawn darts.
Yeah. Birthdays, weddings, funerals.
That's right.
Funny you say
Same
that.
shit.
The only time I've ever been axe throwing, I've went twice, and both were team building events for agriculture companies. So I'll leave it at that.
Well, have any of you, has your experiences axe throwing made you want to build an axe throwing range in your backyard?
100%.
Is that just not the coolest pastime ever?
Well, I'd rather build a range in my backyard so I could shoot guns.
But legalities being what they are.
Yes, yeah, it's illegal to discharge in the city of Regina limits. There's a bylaw out for that, even with air rifles. So anyway,
Toyota Burger.
See, I like this. I like this Jens guy. Yes, the Toyota Burger Ball. Yeah,
what did you say?
Absolutely. What the like part?
No, Jens. Jens. You're fucking. You're a big German fanboy. You should know that.
You know what the funny thing is? For one, my last name's Mennonite, so it's Low German, and and for two, I have a buddy who's got a French last name, and he refuses to let me pronounce it French. So you never know. So you just throw the dice. Right?
That's right. 50-50. Here we go.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oh shit. Right on.
Yeah.
So what else we got?
Yeah.
Axe throwing.
There's still lots of people pissed off, Ryan. I'm sure.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, do I go grab guns and start complaining about things about them, or do
Please do.
I I'm trying to think. What should I get?
How many of you guys went hunting?
I didn't. No,
you didn't. Sean did.
I just
Kurt did.
I can't be.
Rick did.
Hey, I can piss off the hunters now. I couldn't be bothered. You know what I mean? I like going out and hunting, but I find the worst part is once I've shot something. You know, the whole scanning it out and everything. I just don't think that the reward of it, you know, at the end of it, and you paid all this money and you finally have the meat in the freezer, is always worth it. I've had some years where I've bagged deer and it's been nice and cold and the meat is just fantastic. And I've had years where it's warm and just because of the way, you know, you're bringing it out of the bush and it's just sat too long. And I can't stand that slightest hint of gaminess. And it felt wasted to me. So I didn't even bother this year because it was so fucking warm. So I don't know. I'm a taste guy, right?
You fucking city boy.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sorry. I like things to taste good to me. What a loser.
No, I'm in the same boat. It's all fun and games until you shoot something, then the work begins, right?
100%.
But that's what you should embrace, honestly.
That's right.
Yes,
that's
Mike.
what the hunt
exactly
is.
where I was going.
So Mike here says I should hunt elk. I have hunted elk. I've never gotten one. So that's my plan.
Also,
is so maybe
elk can
late
be a
season
hell of a
elk.
lot worse than deer, depending on what is going on.
True, 100%. But again,
Yeah, I've had some
get them straight out of a
nasty
wallow.
elk. Exactly. It's the same with moose, right? It depends on
Yeah.
where you're hunting them.
Yeah.
There's a reason they're called swamp donkeys in my areas because they like to hang out in swamps and and the ones you pull out of there sometimes taste like dog shit. So
You guys call deer swamp donkey?
no, moose.
Moose.
Yeah.
Well, okay. Any animal, that's strange because up in Saskatoon, that's just what we call people in Regina.
Hey-oh, there you go.
Saskatchewan humor.
You pipe down.
Okay, here's another question. Does anybody even know how to count the rack on a fucking deer?
Which style?
I don't fucking know.
Like a 5x5? Are you talking like, it's 168 on the
It's an
Boone and
11.
Yeah,
Crockett?
what's 120 points? What does that
I don't know.
mean? Does that mean that my dick is bigger?
It could potentially, based on how you measure it.
From the base forward.
That's right. That's right.
But are you
the spiral method isn't applied to
if you're
It's a
using
12
the spiral method, then you win anyway.
It's not bacon wrapped schnitzel.
Yes, Doug. Doug, I mean,
squirrel patch.
Oh, dear.
Kurt, why don't you?
Hunting, not bringing home. Well, Doug's right about that. It's called hunting,
Yeah.
not bringing home. Okay.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what? Then back to Doug's comment. What I don't like to hear is when people say, "Hey, you know, I want to fill the freezer." Right? You know, you could easily go and fill the freezer for cheaper buying cattle or whatever instead of spending money on guns, gear, reloading, factory ammunition. You know, it's driving around, pushing bush. Like, what do you value your time at, right?
That depends, man, because I know a guy in Alberta who's got a great Catholic family. They got 5 kids, and he's got like the world's. Actually, the gun was given to him, so he didn't spend anything on the gun. And he cuts it, preps it, grinds it, everything all himself.
Great.
So for him, all it takes is time.
Yeah, for sure.
It all depends on how we're doing it, right?
I 100% agree. Like, I respect the people that want to know, like, from shot placement all the way to finishing the meal where that meat comes from.
Yep.
Like, don't get me wrong on any of this, but a lot of hunting to me is my reloading argument versus factor. You know what I mean? It's like, again, my time worth. And so to me personally, I enjoy hunting. I love being able to have a skill set that is useful in the apocalypse. But at the end of the day, where we're sitting right now, I can buy a half a cow.
Yeah.
For cheaper.
My point exactly.
The other half home. Do you, when you go hunting, do you like camp out, or do you just wake up early in the morning from your house? And
I've done a lot of
wake up base camp.
I've done a bunch of wake up just kind of road hunting stuff, especially southern Alberta. That's pretty easy to do, right? Especially when you got permissions on lands and working with the Hutterites, right? So actually, one of my favorite hunts, it's the only time I've gone elk hunting, so I got in a really bad motorcycle crash in August of 2018. I was fully killed. Stars Ambulance actually had to bring me back to life in the road and a whole bunch of stuff, yada, yada, yada. Anyways, so November of 2018, was that August, September, October. So 3 months later, someone offers me to go horseback, do a 4-day horseback elk hunt in the Rocky Mountains. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. I'm still on hydromorph. I'm still super fucked up. I'm like, let's do it. so I did.
Seems like a good idea.
Dude, I'm never on horses. So we had to do, rode in, we drove 3 hours into the area, did another 3 hours on horseback into a camp and hunted from sun up to sundown. And I did it for 4 days and then came back and I slept on the ground. And I mean, I ate, opiates like it was candy, but I had a great time, man. So just sitting out there.
Other than all of the drugs, that sounds great.
Dude,
honestly, that's why I hunt. Like the primary. Well, it's not the only reason I hunt, but it's one of the major reasons why I hunt. I mean, my primary hunting space is with a friend of mine who's got ancestral land. They've got 4 quarters of land that are all connected together on the southern tip of the Nesbitt Forest. They've got several kilometers of the North Saskatchewan River going right through the middle of it. And it's fucking heaven on earth. And we go out and we make a base camp in this little 1-room shack. And we spend 4 or 5 days just relaxing in and walking around in nature, and whether we catch something or not,
Yeah, man, it's the experience of going somewhere so quiet and pure, and that's it. And so maybe that's
where everything else is living around you might want to kill you.
Yeah, and the bonding.
We need to experience that.
Like if you've got a buddy or your father or son or whatever, it's more of an experience for me anyway. When I can go with somebody, but like this year, I didn't have anybody essentially to go with. And, it was predominantly truck hunting. There were days where I was putting miles on the old Red Wing boots, but still it was, it just wasn't the same. Right. And you're not having that experience and that after effect where, like Chris said, you're hunkered down in a 1-room shack, drinking rum to keep warm and sharing stories over fires and whatever, right? That's half of it for me. Instead of just filling meat for the freezer, it's more of a vacation from life, right?
It's camping in the winter.
There's so many different aspects to it. There's the guys that are out there for the camaraderie, and this is kind of tradition and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the guys the people who want meat for the freezer, and you can hardly take that away from them in some cases. They like to know where their meat comes from and all that kind of stuff. And then there's guys like myself. I get, for whatever, maybe it's a screwed up reason, but I'm the first guy in there with bloody hands whenever a buddy shoots a deer. I'm more that, I'm so much that guy that I hate seeing somebody struggle with something. So I'm like, just get out of there. I'll do it.
Well, that and you're a psychopath, and it keeps you from
kind of.
He's wearing the deer carcass, right?
Look at me, I'm a deer.
Okay, you guys are laughing, but did you hear? I don't know if this is actually true or not. It might have been like an Onion story, but I saw something on my newsfeed the other day where there was a guy who identified as a deer and ended up traipsing through the forest during hunting season and ended up getting shot.
The funny thing is, if that was real, it probably would happen.
I think his name was like Rick Castle something. I can't remember. hey, Rick, do you hunt anyway?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Not since that day.
Not ever since you got shot.
No, it's hunting's a funny thing, right? Like all the all the city folk think you're barbaric, right? You're like you're saying, Curt, you get in there, but there's something you're tapping into, that part of your brain which every human has had to endure for 180,000 years, except for like the past 150. You know what I mean? And you're tapping into that. Maybe not like totally, arguably whenever your family decided not to do it right. But like, so like my aunt grew up really poor in northern Alberta, and they would send, she was 5, they'd send him out to 22s to shoot grouse in the head. They got in shit if they didn't get him in the head. You know what I mean? Yeah. And if they didn't get anything, no one ate. So there's like that aspect of hunting where it's literal subsistence hunting. Right. And then again, there's going over to, well, I want to know where the meat comes from, which is more of, you know, that you can get it other ways, but it's more of another niche, you know, way of wanting to hunt. And I think they're all legitimate. It doesn't really matter what reason you want to do it. It's
what
fun.
About trophy?
You see, I was against trophy for a lot of years. Again, from growing up, hearing more of the subsistence side. So that was, you know, kind of frames, it's a frame of reference that you hear. But then after, you know, getting a buck, I was like, I get it now, right? Like, I get that too. And I think I'll just piss people off now. I think there is certainly some lines you need to draw. I don't see a point, and again, people hate me for this. I don't see a point of going out and shooting a cheetah in the face. You know what I mean?
Well, like I know the face.
You know, like that's
a little bit different. A little bit different because you don't eat a cheetah, right?
Well, you know, it again, they go, well, we shoot it, and then like either the tribe there gets to sell the pelt and all sorts of things, or they eat it and blah blah blah. Like I get it. Like, don't get me wrong, and I'm never going to shit on someone who does. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not
literally or figuratively.
Well, yeah. Depends on my mood. Depends how my core warmer has.
You're right. Me out. Right. Bring extra double A's.
But at the same point, like, I don't know. It's one of those things where I think everyone's perception of things are always kind of changing, right? If you're a cerebral person, I think your ideas should always kind of be morphing and trying to figure out exactly where you stand on things. And I'm not fully against, I'm not fully for, but again, right now, as Friday night here, I don't really see the point of certain trophy hunts. But I'm never going to shit on someone for doing them. I think it's fucking cool. Exactly. You know, like I'm going to go to Africa and fucking shoot every mammal that lives there. Like, cool. You know, like I think that's fucking cool.
Maybe
like from
every mammal,
but I guess there's people
you can't get a hunting license for.
But you know, it like taps into those like movies where you saw the explorer with the cork hat, and you know, like it taps into something as a kid. It's like an explorer mindset, I guess. You know what I mean? But again, as an adult human, I go, well, maybe there's certain lines you need to draw, and I don't know. That's my 2 cents, and fucking flood my hate mail.
Okay, so let's go around the table. Rick, what do you think about trophy hunting?
So my thing is, don't be wasteful. That's the only.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the primary thing. If you're wasting it, I'm against it.
Yeah, if you're just cutting the horns
downstream to the village, I get it. I mean,
100%.
That cheetah's going to die no matter what you do, right? It's going to die like all of them.
That's right. It can
bring some benefit. That's all for it. But if you're
nature's cruel, you know, and you shooting it is probably the best death it was ever going to get.
Yep, and there's benefits downstream, so I'm okay with that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Sean,
that'd be a long list of mammals, though, Ryan. That'd be awesome.
What's that?
A long list of mammals. Let's start making a list now. Shot every mammal.
Start with A, alligator.
I'd go marsupials, man. Those things are weird.
Right? You show up on Australia, you're just fucking every animal up. Like, why?
Are you a marsupial? No, man.
Part monkey, part cat, part badger.
I'm not a marsupial. I'm just a bogan. Don't shoot me, please.
Show me your pouch.
Yeah,
it's just a fanny pack. It's a type of pouch.
It's a lifestyle.
Well, and you know, if I highly recommend watching on Netflix right now. There's a documentary I just watched called Trophy, and it dictates, you know, kind of how or what the culture's like in terms of trophy hunting, where shooting in fenced in, compounds where they breed lions and tigers and fucking bears and shit.
Oh my.
Yeah, it's unreal. And
thinking the same thing.
that's not hunting, but it's helping the population. There's one guy there that specifically does rhino hunts, and he actually cuts off the horns himself and sells them. Because of the poachers coming in, they'll just kill the animal, cut the horn off, and then it's done, right? Whereas he cuts it off himself and then sells them himself to keep the animals alive, to keep the population going. For black rhinos, I believe, is the breed. But
which was the one that is now technically extinct in like the last 10 years or something like that?
The white rhino?
Was it the white
I think
rhino?
so. Yeah.
That's too bad.
Yeah, it's you're seeing an animal disappear, and then also the meat. You get to partake in the feast, if you will, but the meat goes back to the locals, and you're paying whatever the price is between $2,000 and $100,000 to take an animal, but you're also helping support that community, and that animal is getting killed the most ethically way possible. Otherwise, it's going to be eaten asshole first by a bunch of hyenas. Or whatever, it's going to be, that's my take on it. So
can I tell you something, Sean?
Go for it.
Your microphone does not echo when I can see it on your screen.
Oh, well then, let me talk like this.
I'm Batman.
You fuck. Soft side or lumpy side?
I'll take both, please.
Don't do that again.
No, I think it's fun having debates like this, especially since life is very rarely black and white. Everything has shades of gray. Just like saying, well, I'm against trophy hunting. Like, well, here's all this downstream economic and like actual cultural activity that comes from it. And you go, oh, I guess I can't just be, ardently for, ardently against something, right?
But I think what you're getting at, Ryan, is the trophy hunting for the the guys out there blazing around in the half tons that they bring the head home off of some big buck that they've shot.
Yeah, if you're
and
a dick,
the meat
you.
goes to the dog at best,
Yeah.
like that's I think more what you're going after. If you'll
100%.
Guys in Crocodile Dundee 2, the main bad guy that's who you're talking about.
Yeah,
that's
Fuck
where I
that
get
guy.
these ideas from.
Yeah.
Now that I think about it, I have a whole list of 80s villains that I have a beef against. All right, let's start there.
I'll take Ryan as grumpy for 500, please, Alex.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched Cobra Kai yet?
Oh, no.
Yes.
How'd you like it? I haven't watched it. I want an opinion on it.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I procrastinated watching it for a long time because I already sat through my childhood being ruined with Transformers and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and all this. I was like,
how dare you, sir?
Dude, no, they sucked. I'm sorry. Michael Bay is a piece of shit.
I agree with that. You know what?
Yeah.
If Michael Bay's listening right now, fuck
you, Michael Bay. Your stupid explosions.
This is one guy I'm not afraid to piss off tonight.
That's right.
Michael Bay.
But here's how about this? Whatever happened to Bad Boys and The Rock? Like, those were decent movies, Michael Bay. Like, leave my childhood alone and just work with Sean Connery and Nicolas Cage and be happy with that. Like, anyway, the point being here, I procrastinated watching it for as long as I could, because you got to understand, the whole reason that I teach martial arts was the Karate Kid. Like, that's what I watched when I was a tiny little baby kid, young
wax
man.
on, wax off.
That's right. I was waxing off every day.
So you started a gym to condone the Karate Kid's illegal kick to the face, is what I'm hearing.
Oh no, I was totally on Johnny Lawrence's side. Yeah, Johnny Lawrence is the hero of that movie. But the point is, anyway, I watched it. It was really good. It actually was really good. I'm really glad that they brought Martin Cove back into the movie, like Sensei John Kreese. Yeah. I think that's fantastic. He did a wonderful job. He's mostly in season 2 more than season 1, but I thought it was great. I like the series. It's great.
I'm excited to watch it. I just finished the last season of The Crown. So I need a new series. Dude, it's so good. It's so good.
They lost me, but that's okay.
You don't like real life dramas?
I mostly just
You don't
give
like
a
to
shit
see
about the royal
You know,
family.
you think about all this
They're
time
crazy.
that you
It's wicked
spend
to
watching
watch.
these shows.
Ah, is
You
it
could be
though?
hand loading 9 mil.
That's
Oh,
right.
good. There's a good. Hey, let's waste my time. I would rather watch a show about the Queen than fucking chunk. 9 mil. 9 mil. Oh, it's a little off. I have to throw that one out. Fuck that.
Oh, you need your diaper changed, boy.
No
Yeah,
kidding. Fuck
yeah.
me.
You know what? What I want to know is which way do I got to point? This way. Are you happy you joined in there, Rick?
I'm taking notes, man. I'm taking notes.
It's like,
All I know is that the last two comments are dead on. 18 remake did suck,
Yeah.
and
see that. I
we
need to
do
go.
not teach mercy in this dojo. Do you have a problem with that, Mr. Lawrence?
Game of Thrones, dude. I don't know. Game of Thrones.
Okay,
again.
here. Okay, I got it. You want to hear a bitch? I got it. Okay, here we go. Game of Thrones. You ready?
Go.
All right. Game of Thrones was fucking great up until season 5.
Hell yes.
Season 6 on, it sucked donkey balls, and here's why.
Well, that's because HBO took over versus.
That's
the
exactly
books.
why, because they stopped following the books. They tore through the books and they left so much out of the books, and then they came to the end of the books and realized they skipped a whole bunch of fucking content, and they were like, "Oh, we weren't expecting it to go on this long. Oops. Well, we'll just start making shit up. Hey, George R. R. Martin, you gonna put out another book?" And he's like, "Fuck you, bitches. I'm going to
got paid.
Mexico.
That's right.
I got paid, exactly. So I'm not writing anything anymore." And then they started doing it themselves. And in true fashion, they fucked it hard. Yeah. And the finale was absolutely terrible.
Dude, I agree. As soon as HBO, you realize when HBO got a hold of it. And I agree, Rob. The Boys is fucking awesome.
Boys is the shit.
The
That's
Boys
my jam.
is. I love that show. Man.
The Boys. I have trouble with The Boys sometimes.
All right.
Why?
So which of the 7 do you want to be?
Which of the 7 do I want to be?
Do I have to pick Starlight? Because I mean, she's pretty hot.
Do I
like
want to
to be
be
hot.
in Starlight? Yes.
Here's my problem with The Boys. How many times can you come in contact with an omnipotent psychopath and not get killed?
Yeah, very true.
I talk to people every day.
Ask everyone I interact with.
I'm selective. Fuck you.
First of all,
I agree with Rob, man. Homelander. I would love to be.
You
Homelander.
shut up.
I'll
Over
just
in the
laser
closet
this.
there.
I'll just do whatever. You know, like
can we all agree that
too.
Elizabeth Shue should not have
Who's
been
that?
killed?
Who's that?
She was
Homelander.
be hot.
She was the head of the company in season 1.
head of VOD.
Homelander killed her early in season 2,
yeah.
and then had
Lasers her face off.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Exactly. Elizabeth Shue.
Sorry, all those guys.
Here we
don't see
go.
one.
Todd here. Guns. Talk about guns, you fucking nerds.
Please,
Hold on.
God.
Hold on. Just a second here. Maybe, yeah, exactly. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I wasn't drunk here. Elizabeth Shue was the Karate Kid's love interest in the first Karate Kid.
You're right.
Yeah, and she is a smoking hot lady in her 60s. I'll tell you that much.
Fuck yeah.
She's 60.
She's over 60. I'm pretty sure.
See, now Ryan's excited.
Yeah. Hello.
Sick man. You're a sick
Excuse
man.
me for a second, gents. I must excuse myself.
Hey, sorry, she's not. She's 57. She's 57.
As he shuts his camera off to insert the core warmer.
That's right. And I'm back.
Oh wow.
All the way to 11.
All right, so here's I got another one for you. We're gonna tie
So
guns.
PGW.
Can anybody else? We already did PGW. Can anybody watch a fucking
Trying to
action movie
distract.
these days and not get pissed off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the stupid shit with guns that they get wrong all the time. Am I the only one?
Well,
Yeah.
what's that
Picking
Netflix
up a pistol
movie?
by the trigger guard.
Yeah. Or
awesome.
or like the decocking sound on a striker fired pistol.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
was a really good movie they got shit on? At least I liked it. So if anyone disagrees with me, fuck you. Is was it Battlefield Los Angeles or whatever?
I
Battle
love
Los
that
Angeles?
movie. Yeah,
Dude,
that movie
it
was
was-
amazing.
You know what? The only part that sucked about it is like they're pretty good with the grenades and everything else, except they kept calling the FOBs FOBs. And I was just like, oh, come on, guys. You were so close. So close.
Or what kind of got it for me was right at the end. You're through a con or put your first engagement, your first contact with the enemy, and then they get ordered to go eat some chow, and they just want to get back into it. It's like, fuck, boys, take a minute, eat some food, then get back into it. Like that's what I didn't like.
Black Hawk Down. They're like, we're gonna eat for a second, fucking rebomb up, and we'll get out. Yeah, no, I 100% agree, man.
Yeah,
I get mad if the scope reticle isn't proper for the actual scope. Agreed. Or if it's a piece of shit scope they're trying to pass off as mill.
Or if somebody's got a red dot on a sniper rifle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that is
great.
Listen, that is a legitimate thing for Warzone.
That is a
there's
showcase
scope
of
blink,
skill. Yeah.
and then people can't see it.
Yeah.
So
or when somebody looks through a night vision scope, but it's clearly just a magnifier on a red dot.
Yeah.
or
Or
they
the-
can
The
There are
worst
some
is running
horrible
in
B movies out there.
well, or when they're running like an action scene and they have AR-15 platforms without any form of optics on it, just the bare rail.
yeah.
That I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't watch it anymore.
No irons or anything.
Yeah, nothing.
Or what's worse though is when you hear the shotgun racking sound when they load their AR.
Yeah.
The ones I love is, when somebody's going through like the warehouse looking for somebody, got the gun up, ready, pointed, and everything else, and then they hear a sound, and then they rack one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or every bad guy's seen the gun to the head, and then he cocks the pistol.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you're saying
What
that
did you intend to do before that?
Yeah.
You know what? Talking about like night vision, these are one of these like stories that I don't think I've ever told anyone because they're like so embarrassing. But when we were doing like during my
camp.
right, this one time at army camp, so it's way worse. During my officer candidacy course in Gagetown, when we did our like night, like our NVG portion, basically, it's like, okay, they're teaching like, all right, it's midnight, put on your NVGs and like teaching all the functions of it. The fucking instructor like didn't say like talk about focusing, and he's like, put on your NVGs, and it's like, can you see this, can you see that? I'm like, I can't see a fucking thing through these fucking things, and I'm like going through the whole thing blind, like pretending I see these things because I don't want to get jacked up.
I can see them.
And then I'm just fucking around because I'm so mad that I can't see. Look, and there's a cigarette being smoked 2 kilometers away, and I'm like, oh my god, it focuses. Just play it cool, right? Like that's just one of those stories. So when you talk about NVGs, they can be at least under sleep deprivation, they can kind of be hard to figure out. 1911 never just fuck 1911 shooters.
I can't stand 1911. That's my platform of choice. It's a classic.
Okay.
You're a 1911 guy, Rick?
I'm a 1911 guy.
You ever tried
Why?
2011?
Yeah, the 2011s are cool.
Are they?
I've never.
I do. I think the 2011s are cool.
So somebody educate me. What's the biggest difference between a 19 and a 2011?
Double
No
stack
idea.
magazine.
Stack.
That's it?
Double stack.
That's it?
1911s are stacked.
Yep.
And they're hot rod. Usually all the 2011s are basically custom.
I just know
custom.
that the Terran Tactical Combat Masters of 2011 and at SHOT Show, it's way fucking cooler than the other 1911s. So,
But I like to have a standard 1911. That's my job.
Yeah. Well, and there's so many
25%,
Gucci
yeah.
1911s out there too. You can have your pick. You can go a Nighthawk. You can go whatever it is. And same with 2011s. There's like Akai. There's STI. Terran Tactical makes them. There's Atlas Gunworks. They dominate the standard division and open divisions, right? So in IPSC. So
So you guys know the
Look
you
at
guys know
this.
the 45 ACP was built for the Filipinos,
Yeah.
right?
2 world
Yeah.
wars. Yeah.
wrong two, Rob.
He spelled it wrong.
TWO.
You knew what the hell he was talking about. Back off.
No, he doesn't. I'll text him right now. Don't know.
For the World Wars.
We graduated from the same public high school. I know you don't know the difference.
Oh, we went.
Well, boys.
We've been around the fucking world a few times here tonight. This was a good time. If you guys want to have this again, let us know, and I'm more than willing to do this again. This was great.
Yeah, man, I like talking shit and getting hate mail.
Well, you sure got some demons out tonight. Yeah.
Oh God, those were. Kidding me? Those were the kids.
You got a good start.
those aren't the tweens and adolescent demons.
Nice. Well, I think that's it, boys.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Good to have you guys on.
I'm super impressed that people, I don't know, listen in.
They're still here.
Bunch of fucking clowns.
Here's a question: whose life is sadder?
Ours or theirs?
If they stay tuned to hear my incessant sobbing, which I call white noise for the kids sleeping, maybe it's mine.
Well, hold on a second.
It's white privilege noise.
Rick started out the evening as a listener and ended it as a participant.
Oh, kind of covering all bases there.
Very meta.
Yeah, he walks in both worlds. He's what the vampires refer to as a day walker.
Clearly, I have no idea what I'm doing.
I can't
You're
wait
in good company.
I can't wait till you put this on the website and Duncan's got to like figure out some sort of caption for like how to explain the episode. I'll just be like ... You figure it out.
Hunting core temperature warmers.
Yeah, that's going to be the picture. That's going to be the picture of the show.
No.
Is the core temperature
Did
warmer?
you see that, Rick? That was before you were on. Did you see?
I thought it was a lava lamp.
Is that when people come over to read? They're like, "You want to come over and see my collection of lava lamps?"
Why does this lava lamp have a tail on it?
They all smell really bad.
Why are all these lava lamps in your basement?
Oh my god!
Permanently attached to the wall.
On that note, thanks guys. Appreciate y'all coming on. We'll try and do this again next week.